Fit and healthy dad has shared the harrowing story of his coronavirus fight in bid to warn others about the threat the deadly illness poses. Father, of 2 Joseph Wallace, 40, has beaten his illness, but he told of watching helplessly as 2 other patients died before his eyes as he lay sick in London Hospital's intensive care unit (ICU). He is one of thousands of people in the UK who have been diagnosed with COVID-19, as the world grapples with the pandemic. At least 437 people have died in the UK after contracting the virus. Mr. Wallace, who runs tech company, fell ill after night out at the pubs around London Bridge, reports the Mail Online. The Londoner said he suffered for a week from raging fever and persistent cough so bad it left him gasping for air. He told how he stayed home as long as he could because he didn't want to be burden on the overstretched NHS. But he eventually had to be rushed by ambulance to St. Thomas's Hospital in the central city and treated in ICU after his health deteriorated. Mr. Wallace was treated on coronavirus ward at the unit, where he witnessed tragedies unfolding from his hospital bed. He told the Mail Online he began feeling unwell about 2 weeks ago, and at first attributed it to the night out he was having with friends in London Bridge. But he began feeling chills and aches in his joints and felt light-headed, and headed home. Things took rapid turn, and began getting uncontrollable shivers along with raging fever. Then the uncontrollable coughing began, which left him gasping for air. He said his wife, Emma, became very worried and he self-isolated in room away from her and their children. He was also forced to stop seeing his anxious parents, and recalling telling his mum he loved her and couldn't keep visiting with her as it would put her at risk. Mr. Wallace described seeing 2 patients die before his eyes. After researching coronavirus symptoms, he became certain he had contracted the illness, which has killed thousands around the world. As his condition worsened, he called NHS 111 and was unable to get through. He managed to call Dr. who told him over video conference he needed to go to hospital. An ambulance was dispatched and Mr. Wallace was transferred to Thomas Hospital, where his diagnosis was confirmed 30 hours later. He was moved to ward with 6 beds and 5 other COVID-19 patients, but says he never believed he would die. But during Mr. Wallace's 3 days on the ward, he witnessed 2 other patients in with him die. He told the Mail Online. One old man had to have assisted breathing and then didn't see him again. Nurse told me he had died. Another man was rushed into intensive care but he didn't make it. He was old and had other medical conditions but he was someone's granddad, someone's dad, someone's husband. He will be missed. After witnessing the double tragedy, he urged Brits living under lockdown to stick to the rules imposed by the government. He said, "We've all got to take this more seriously. You can't have party and you can't meet up with friends. Otherwise more people will die."